Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the multiplication viruses. How the viruses they multiplied inside the host cell. Most of the study on the it is done the multiplication of the bacteriophages. Okay, in the last lecture we have discussed about the structure of the bacteriophages. Okay, bacteriophages, these are in the photograph you can see these are the complex viruses. These are differentiated into the head, neck, or the tail, and at the tail region there is a presence of the tail plate, and the tail plates there is a presence of the tail pins or the fibers. Okay, the bacteriophages means the viruses which are infecting the bacteria. Okay, which are infecting the bacteria, and here we are discussing about the multiplication of the bacteriophages. Okay, in the last lecture we have discussed that the viruses these are completely inert outside the host cell, but for their replication, for their multiplication, they must enter inside the host cell. Okay, because the viruses these are only made up of two components: the centrally present nucleic acid and the protein code. This is not sufficient for their replication, for their multiplication. Okay, they will require the enzymes, then ribosomes, tRNA, and the energy productions, and therefore these viruses should penetrate, should invade inside the host cell. Okay, to multiply the virus must invade the host cell, then after penetrating into the host cell they take over the host metabolic machinery, and thus a single virus can give rise to the thousands of the viruses. Then there are two alternative methods for the multiplication of the viruses. The first method is the lytic cycle, and the another one is the lysogenic cycle. Okay, in the lytic cycle, lysis, it is a Latin term. Lysis means breakdown. Okay, the lytic cycle, it ends with the death of the lysis, death or the lysis of the host cell. And the another alternative method is the lysogenic cycle. In the lysogenic cycle, host cell remains alive. Okay, these are the two alternative methods which viruses use for their multiplication, for their reproduction, or we can say for their replication. The first one is the lytic method, and the another one is the lysogenic method. Okay, here the lytic cycle, it get completed into the 5 steps. Okay, the lytic cycle, it is accomplished into the 5 steps. Here the first step, here you can see the attachment, or in some of the book this attachment, it is referred as the adsorption. Okay, in this first step the bacteriophages they get adsorbed, they get attached to the bacterial cell. Then the second step, it is the penetration. After penetration, after the attachment, after the adsorption of the bacteriophages on the bacterial cell, the nucleic acid material enters into the bacterial cell. This is the second step. Then the third step, it is the synthesis of phase component. Here biosynthesis, or simply we can say the third step, it is the synthesis of the phase components in the host cell. Phase components, different phase components, such as the here in this photograph you can see the head is there, then the tail is there, then the tail pins are present. Okay, the synthesis of the phase component in the host cell takes place. Okay, this is the third step. Then in this photograph you can see the fourth step, here the maturation, the assembly of the new phase particle. Okay, assembly of the new phase particle, here the all the components of the bacteriophages get assembled, and there is a formation of the virus. Okay, complete virus, that phase it is also referred as the maturation. Okay, the fourth step is the maturation, and the last one, after which the lysis or the breakdown of the bacterial cell takes place, and all the bacteriophages, these are released outer side. Okay, these are released outer side. This is the first step, release. Okay, that means in one line we can say the lytic cycle, it get accomplished to the five steps. The first step is the attachment of bacteriophages to the host cell, to the bacterial cell. The second one is the penetration of the genetic material of bacteriophages into the bacterial cell. Then third step is the synthesis of phage component in the host cell. Then fourth is the assembly of new phase particle, which is also referred as the saturation. And the fifth one is the liberation of the bacteriophages from the host cell. Okay, that is how the lytic cycle get accomplished into the five steps. Here, the first one, you can see the first step is the attachment. That is how the bacteriophages, here in this one you can see this is the bacterial cell, and here this bacteriophage, it get attached to the bacterial cell. Okay, here you can see the magnified view, the how the exactly the attachment takes place in the first photograph. Okay, in this one you can see the how the bacteriophages get absorbed on the bacterial cell. Okay, here the generally the attachment or the adsorption, it is completely depending upon the mutual affinity of the bacterial cell wall and the bacteriophages. Okay, the attachment of the bacteriophages to the bacterial cell wall, it is completely depending upon the mutual affinity of the bacterial cell wall and bacteriophages. Okay, for example, the specific specific bacteriophage, it infects the specific host. Okay, always remember that the viruses, these are highly host specific. Host specific means what? The particular type of the phage, particular type of the virus, it infects the specific type of the host. Okay, and even the these viruses, they attach themselves, they get adsorbed themselves on the bacterial cell wall at a particular site. Okay, at a specific site, and that specific site, it is referred as the receptor site. Okay, here in this photograph you can see the bacteriophages are attached at that site, the site at which the phages, they get infected to the, or they get adsorbed to the cell wall, these are said to be the receptor site. Okay, generally the adsorption, the attachment of the phages to the host cell, it is facilitated by the interaction of amino groups of the proteins present at the margins of the phage tail. Okay, it is generally the attachment, it is facilitated by the interaction of amino groups of proteins present at the margins of the phage tail and the negatively charged carboxyl ions present on the host surface. Okay, don't forget that the attachment in the lytic cell, it is facilitated by the interaction of amino group proteins present at the margins of the phase tail and negatively charged carboxyl ions on the host surface. Okay, that means the host specificity of the phages, it is due to the proteins and not due to the nucleic acid. Okay, remember that the host specificity of the viruses, it is mainly due to the proteins and not due to the nucleic acid. Okay, after their attachment, here you can see after their attachment, how the penetration takes place. After their attachment, the phage tail or the tail plate, it will secrete special type of the enzyme, and that enzyme is called as the lysozymes. Okay, they will secrete type of enzyme called as the lysozyme, and these it will hydrolyzes the muramic acid peptide peptide complex of the bacterial cell wall. Okay, here the bacterial cell wall, it is made up of mucopeptide. Mucopeptide, the bacterial cell wall, it is made up of muramic acid and the peptide complex. Okay, muramic acid and the peptide complex. Here the phase tail or the tail plate of the bacteriophage, it will secrete the certain type of the lysozymes which will hydrolyze the muramic acid peptide complex of the bacterial cell wall. Okay, and due to which a minute pore, it is formed, minute pore, it is formed on the bacterial cell wall. In the second photograph, here you can see the minute pore is formed in the bacterial cell wall due to the breakdown of the due to the breakdown muramic acid peptide complex of bacterial cell wall. Okay, and through this minute pore, then through this minute pore, the hello, काही असं नाही का? तुमचा म्यूट ठेवा तुमचा फोन. Okay, here the minute pore, it is formed, and through this minute pore the nucleic acid which is present in the bacteriophages, it will enter into the bacterial cell just like the injection. Okay, just like the injection, the pressure will be exerted on the tail pins, and ultimately through this pore the genetic material of the phages, it will enter into the bacterial cell just like the injection. Okay, just like of phages, it will enter into the bacteria, it will enter into the bacterial cell. Okay, then the protein shell, the protein shell outside the bacterial cell. Okay, it remains attached to the host cell. Okay, but that protein shell, that virus, it is not having the genetic material in it. Okay, such virus which is not having the genetic material in it, is having the protein shell, such virus referred as the ghost. ओके, ठीक आहे. म्हणजे पेनिट्रेशन झाल्यानंतर जेनेटिक मटेरियलचं फेजेसचं बॅक्टेरियल सेलमध्ये फक्त काय बाहेर राहतं, तर प्रोटीन शेल राहतं, आणि त्या प्रोटीन शेलला ज्याच्यामध्ये जेनेटिक मटेरियल प्रेझेंट नाहीये, त्या प्रोटीन शेल घोस्ट असं म्हणलं जातं. Okay, the protein shell which remains outside after the penetration of the nucleic acid in the bacterial cell, that protein shell outside the bacterial cell, it is referred as the ghost. Okay, though the protein shell, it is not having the genetic material, and that's why it will lose its ability of infection after its nucleic acid has been released into the host cell. Okay, that protein shell, it loses its ability of infection after its nucleic acid has been into the host cell. Okay, because the infectious property of the viruses, it is mainly due to the nucleic acid. Once the nucleic acid it is released in the host cell, the remaining protein shell or the remaining virus, it will lose its property of the infection. Okay, it loses its ability of infection after its nucleic acid has been released into the host cell. Okay, that is how the attachment and the penetration of the bacteriophages inside the bacterial cell take place. Okay, after which we are going to discuss the third step. The third step is the biosynthesis. Biosynthesis, here the synthesis of the phase components in the host cell takes place. Synthesis of phase components means phase components, head is there, then neck is there, then tail plate, tail pin is there, then the nucleic acid is there. Okay, that is we call it as a synthesis of the phase components in the host cell. Okay, in this third photograph you can see how actually the synthesis of the phase components in the host cells takes place. Okay, here after the entry of the nucleic acid inside the host cell, the viral genetic material, it will takes over the protein synthesis machinery of the host cell. Okay, once the nucleic acid of the bacteriophages enters or penetrates inside the host cell, it will take over the protein synthesis machinery of the host cell. Okay, and this nucleic acid, it will suppress the synthesis of bacterial protein. Okay, it will suppress the synthesis of the bacterial protein, and it will directs the metabolism of the cell to synthesize the proteins of the phage particles. Okay, once the nucleic acid of the bacteriophages get entry inside the host cell, it will suppress the synthesis of the bacterial protein and directs the metabolism of the cell to synthesize the proteins of the phage particle. Okay, and this is accompanied by the viral specific mRNA. Okay, this is accompanied by the synthesis of the viral specific mRNA. Okay, then the phage DNA, it will replicate by the semi conservative method. Okay, phage DNA or the DNA in the bacteriophages, it will replicate by the semi conservative method. Okay, it will be used as a template for the viral RNA. Okay, it will be used as a template for the viral RNA. Okay, that is how the synthesis of the phage component in the host cell takes place. Okay, biosynthesis, here you can see the phage DNA directs the synthesis of the viral components by the host cell. Okay, the genetic material of the phage, it will take over the control on the protein synthesizing machinery of the host cell, and it will direct the host cell to synthesize the different components of the bacteriophages. Different components, here you can see the tail is formed. Okay, then it is the head region is formed. Then also somewhere in this one, the tail pens are formed. Okay, thus how the different components of the bacteriophages are synthesized in the third step, which is referred as the biosynthesis. Then the next phase, maturation. Maturation. In the maturation, or this is also, we referred it as a assembly of the new phase particle. Assembly of the new phase particles. Okay, this phase, it is also referred as the maturation. This phase is also referred as the maturation. Okay, generally this assembly of the new phase particle, it is controlled by the viral genome. Okay, this maturation stage, it is controlled by the viral genome. Maturation, simply the assembly of the new phase component, is referred as the maturation. Okay, different components, here you can see the head is present, then the tail is present, then here tail pins are present. Okay, all these components get assembled and a complete bacteriophage is formed, and this phase is called as the assembly of the new phase particle and maturation. Okay, generally this maturation step, it is controlled by the viral genome. Okay, in the first step of the maturation, the condensation of nucleic acid molecule takes place. Okay, the first of all, here you can see, this is magnified view, how exactly the maturation or assembly of the phase particle takes place. Okay, here you can see the the first of all, the condensation of nucleic acid molecule takes place. Okay, condensation of the nucleic acid molecule takes place. After the condensation of the nucleic acid molecule, the protein molecules aggregate around the head. Okay, the protein molecules aggregate around the head. After the condensation of the nucleic acid, the protein molecules get aggregated, get accumulated around the head. Okay, and later on the assembly of the tail region takes place. Okay, here you can see the assembly of the tail region starts. Okay, and after the assembly of the tail plate, the tail, it will get attached, the tail, it will get attached to the head. Okay, here now the head and the tail is present. And lastly, the the last step is the attachment of the tail fibers or the tail pins to the tail plate takes place. ओके, सगळ्यात शेवटी काय तर टेल पिन्स ह्या ते टेल फायबर भोवती अटॅच होतात. ओके, कसं आहे, एकदम सिंपल आहे. पहिल्यांदा काय होतं तर जेनेटिक मटेरियलचं कंडेन्सेशन होतं. नंतर काय होतं, प्रोटीन मॉलिक्युल्स हे त्या हेड रिजन भोवती अक्युमुलेट होतात, ऍग्रिगेट होतात. त्यानंतर टेलची असेंब्ली चालू होऊन जाते. म्हणजे टेलचा रॉड येतो, त्याच्या भोवती प्रोटीन्स ऍग्रिगेट होतात. नंतर हे टेल जो आहे तो ह्या हेड रिजनला जाऊन अटॅच होतो आणि सगळ्यात शेवटी टेल फायबर्स हे त्या टेल प्लेटला जाऊन अटॅच होतात. Okay, that is how the new phase particle is synthesized. Okay, I am repeating this one. Is called as the maturation. In this phase, the assembly of new phase particle takes place. Okay, and this assembly of the new phase particle, it is controlled by the viral genome. The first step in the assembly of the new phase particle is the condensation of the nucleic acid molecule. Okay, then later on the protein molecules get aggregated around the head region. Then the assembly of the tail starts. Okay, and this, after the assembly of the tail, the complete tail, it will get attached to the head region, and in the last the tail fibers are attached to the end plate. Okay, in the last the tail fibers or the pins, they get attached to the tail plate. Okay, that is how the maturation or the assembly of the new phase particles takes place. Okay, then lastly the liberation. Okay, the last step is the release. Okay, the entire cycle, the entire multiplication of the viruses, it get completed within 30 to 90 minutes after the entrance of the bacteriophages inside the host cell. Okay, the entire cycle get completed in the 30 to 90 minutes. ओके, म्हणजे पूर्ण मल्टिप्लिकेशनची प्रोसेस व्हायला बॅक्टेरियाच्या बॅक्टेरियोफेजिसला होस्ट सेलमध्ये, बॅक्टेरियल सेलमध्ये 30 ते 90 मिनिट लागत असतात. ओके, द एंटायर सायकल गेट अकम्प्लिश्ड विदिन 30 to 90 minutes. Okay, and about 200 phases are synthesized inside the bacterial cell. Okay, about 200 phases are synthesized inside the bacterial phases. And after that, what happens? These tail plates, these are then again secreting the lysozyme enzymes. Okay, the tail plates, these are secreting the lysozyme type of mm, enzymes, and due to this enzyme the bacterial cell wall get ruptured, and ultimately the death of bacterial cell takes place, and all the phages, all the viruses which are synthesized inside the bacterial cell, these are released into the outer environment. Okay, how the liberation or the release of the bacteriophages takes place? The entire cycle, it get completed within 30 to 90 minutes. Okay, within 30 to 90 minutes. Okay, within the time period, about the 200 phages are synthesized, and that's why for their liberation, for their release, the breakdown of the bacterial cell is now essential. Okay, then in this also the tail plate of the bacteriophages plays an important role. They will secrete the lysozyme type of enzymes, due to which the bacterial cell wall get ruptured, and ultimately the all the phages, all the viruses synthesized in the bacterial cell will get released by rupturing the bacterial cell wall. Okay, and that's how the death of the bacterial cell takes place. Okay, that is all about the lytic cycle. Okay, the lytic cycle, it get accomplished into the 5 steps. Okay, the first is the infection, or we can say the first one is the adsorption or the attachment of the phase particle to the bacterial cell wall. The second one, penetration of the genetic material of the bacteriophages inside the host cell. The third one is the synthesis of the phase component in the host cell. Fourth one is the assembly of the new phase particles. And the last step is the liberation of the phase particles from the host cells. Okay, that is how in this method the death or the lysis of bacterial cell takes place. Now, the second alternative method is the lysogenic cycle. In the lysogenic cycle, the death of the bacterial cell does not take place. Okay, here you can see the basic concept of attachment of the bacteriophages to the bacterial cell. Then here how exactly the bacterial how exactly the viral DNA or the phage DNA, it will enter inside the host cell. Okay, here you can see it is entered inside the host cell. Okay, after entering into the host cell, it becomes circular. Okay, in the you can see it becomes circular. This is the phase DNA which becomes circular. Okay, and after this one, this phase DNA ultimately, here you can see it will get integrated inside the bacterial genome. Okay, it will ultimately get integrated with the bacterial chromosome or bacterial genome by the by the recombination. Okay, by the recombination, and that is how, that's why the bacterial genome now it is called as the recombinant DNA. Okay, it is called as the recombinant DNA. Okay, it is recombinant DNA, and this bacterial chromosome along with the phase DNA, it is also referred as the prophage. Okay, it is also referred as the prophage. Okay, then the host cell multiplies. Here you can see the bacterial cell, it get multiplied. Bacterial cell multiplies along with the phase nucleic acid. Okay, the host cell multiplies along with the phase nucleic acid, and such phases are called as the lysogenic phases. Okay, such phases are called as the lysogenic phases, and these are also called as the temperate phases. These are also called as the temperate phases. Okay, these lysogenic phases or the temperate phases, they remains latent. Okay, they remains latent, but when these such phages, these are exposed to the mutagenic agents like the ultraviolet radiations, or when these phages they get exposed to the certain type of the chemicals, they will ultimately initiate the lytic cycle. They will ultimately initiate the lytic cycle. That is, this viral DNA, it will get separated from the bacterial chromosome again, and then it will direct the bacterial cell to synthesize the virus specific protein. Here the synthesis of phase component will takes place, and ultimately this will enter into the lytic cycle. Okay, that temperate phase, then again it will enter into the lytic cycle, and ultimately at the end the death of the bacterial cell takes place. Okay, that is how the lysogenic cycle takes place. Okay, in the lysogenic cycle, I am repeating this one, the lysogenic cycle, it does not cause the death of the bacterial cell. Okay, the two basic steps, these are similar in the lytic cell and the lysogenic cell. The two basic steps, the first one, the attachment of the bacteriophages to the bacterial cell wall, and the second step is the entry or the penetration of the phage DNA inside the bacterial cell. Okay, Then once the viral DNA it enters into the bacterial cell, it will become circular, and later on it will integrate with the bacterial chromosome. Here you can see it will enter into the bacterial chromosome, and now that bacterial chromosome is called as the recombinant chromosome or the recombinant DNA. That bacterial chromosome along with the viral DNA is referred as the prophase. Okay, and that viral DNA, viral genetic material, it will multiply along with the multiplication of the bacterial chromosome. But ultimately, here you can see the many cell divisions. Okay, many cell division takes place, and that viral DNA it multiplies along with the multiplication of the bacterial chromosome. Okay, but later on these bacteria, due to when they come in contact with the certain type of the mutagenic agents, or we can say the mutagenic agents like the ultraviolet radiations, or whenever they come in contact with the certain type of the chemicals, they will initiate the lytic cycle. They will initiate lytic cycle means what? That viral DNA somehow it gets separated from the bacterial cell. Okay, it gets separated from the bacterial chromosome. Okay, and after separating from the bacterial chromosome, it will takes over the protein synthesizing machinery of the bacterial cell, and then there will be the synthesis of the phase component. Okay, that is how this temperate or the lysogenic phase enters into the lytic cycle. Okay, and after entering into the lytic cycle, the large number of the phase particles will get liberated outside the host cell by the death of the by the death of the bacterial cell. Okay, that is how the phase components that is how the phase components are assembled, and these are then liberated outer side in the outer environment. Okay, there these are the two alternative methods of the lytic cycle and the lysogenic cycle. Okay, then we have discussed the structure of the viruses, then the general characteristics of the viruses, then how these viruses multiply. Okay, then the question may arise whether these viruses are living organisms or these are non-living. Okay, the question may arise the viruses may these are living or the non-living. Okay, the viruses they show both the living properties and inanimate properties. What are the living properties of the viruses? The first one is the most important: the living organism possess the genetic material. The viruses these are having the genetic material, either these are having the DNA or the RNA. Then the mutations. Okay, mutations these are the sudden heritable changes. This is also happens only in the living organisms. Viruses mutate very fast. Okay, then another living property, sensitivity to the many stimulants. These are very sensitive to the mm, different types of the chemicals or the temperature. Okay, these are very sensitive to the many stimulants. Then multiplication, viruses can multiply themselves. And another living property which is shown by the viruses is the host specificity. The particular type of the virus it infects the specific type of the host cell. These are the living properties of the viruses. And the non-living properties, inanimate properties, are they can be crystallized. Okay, viruses they can be isolated in the pure form and they can be crystallized. That is the inanimate property. Then the viruses these are completely inert outside their host cell. Okay, viruses these are inert outside their specific host cell. And then the last one, these are autocatalytic and do not have the functional autonomy. Okay, these are autocatalytic and do not have the functional autonomy. Thus viruses they show both living and the non-living properties. Okay, Then what is the importance of the viruses? Why we are studying the viruses? Okay, viruses, these are very important in the study of molecular biology. In the study of molecular biology, because viruses, these are having very simple structure. These are having only two components. The protein coat is present, and inside which there is a presence of the genetic material, either DNA or the RNA. That's why these are very important in the study of molecular biology. Okay. Also, the viruses, these are very useful in the study of genetics. Okay. These can be used as a vectors. This can be used as a vectors, means that is some of the viruses, that is these are used as a vehicles to carry the certain genes, manipulated genes into the host cells. Okay, these are used as the vectors. Then these are having the promising use in virotherapy. Okay, nowadays the virotherapy is very popular. Virotherapy, that is the manipulated viruses, these are used for the as a therapy in the cancer. Okay, promising use in the virotherapy. Then the viruses, these are also used as the biological weapons. Okay, biological weapons. Then the some of the viruses, these are used as scavengers to eradicate the bacteria in the polluted water. Okay, and also the viruses, these are used for the production of the different types of the vaccines. Okay, this is the importance of the viruses in the day-to-day life. Okay, that is all about the viruses. Okay, that is all about the viruses, and that is how we have completed today the first chapter of our syllabus, and that is the virus. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss the another microorganism which is intermediate between the virus and the bacteria, and that is the mycoplasma. Okay, I think this is sufficient for today as the time is running out.